It is rare for me to consider a video game important. And that's kind of because they rarely are. I mean, video games can be difficult, they can be scary, they can tell amazing stories, you can use them to waste time with your friends. I mean, there are so many reasons that gamers love video games. But all of those reasons have something in common. Video games allow you to truly experience something in a way that other forms of media don't let you. Now, usually these experiences are merely for entertainment, allowing you to immerse yourself in fictional worlds in order to briefly escape the real one. But what happens when a video game uses its two biggest tools, experience and immersion, to help you better understand an aspect of not a fictional world, but the real one? Well, then it might look something like this.
Needs medical aid.
New entry. Roger that. Medical assistance is standing by.
This is Ready or Not, and it is a tactical shooter being developed by Void Interactive, and it has redefined what it means to be a tactical shooter in 2023. There are plenty of tactical shooters on the market, and most of them are fairly good, but when compared to the likes of Squad, Ground Branch, Arma, and Insurgency Sandstorm, it becomes clear what makes Ready or Not so unique. All of those games share a military setting, whereas Ready or Not brings you right back home and has you taking on scenarios domestically in the shoes of law enforcement. It may sound like a small difference, but it matters here. The last decent SWAT simulator, for lack of a better term, was SWAT 4, and that game was released when I was 3. And it is this setting that is exactly what makes Ready or Not so special, and it's also what makes Ready or Not important. Sometimes the most important pieces of art are those which are provocative. The best movies are sometimes the hardest to watch, the best books are sometimes the hardest to read, and this goes for poems, photography, and video games too. Video games, in fact, have the unique ability to truly make you experience something. You're not just watching actors read a script for a movie that will be exactly the same no matter how many times you watch it. You're actively making decisions and playing a part in its story. It's through this medium that Ready or Not allows you to take the smallest of glimpses into what a law enforcement officer experiences. Not only does Ready or Not succeed at providing you with a tense, thought-provoking experience, it also is a shining example of what a team of independent developers can produce when vision mixes with talent. It's an incredibly well-polished game, not using the early access feature to release an unfinished product, but rather using it to improve a product that is already excellent. The ability of the development team can be seen clearly from the music to the animations to the sounds, the AI, all of it is meticulously designed to make you experience a very particular feeling. Now, what do I mean when I say that Ready or Not is important? Well, first, let me tell you what I believe is the key to making any sort of art important. That is, that it opens the viewer's mind. And any artwork that fails to do this is vanity at best. Its value dies when the spectator leaves. Art that goes beyond vanity, however, has its value die with the spectator. This is because the artwork has shown the viewer something they've never noticed or never wanted to see in the first place. Forcing the viewer to look at the world through a different lens is what I believe makes art important. Now, it might be becoming clear why video games are such a unique medium to attempt this in, because now the viewer is experiencing something they never have before, or something they've never wanted to. It should be becoming even clearer then where Ready or Not's value lies. The game forces the player to step into terrifying situations and put their virtual lives at risk every time they open a door, as well as forcing the player to regularly make split-second decisions that could mean the death of their team or of an innocent person. And these difficult decisions are the same ones being made by real people every day. Now, this should go without saying, but developing and releasing a game centered around law enforcement in 2021 was a bold move, to say the least. This game was released during a time when law enforcement as a whole was being scrutinized heavily, especially in the United States. Now, regardless of what your perception of law enforcement is, Ready or Not aims to change it. No amount of body camera footage, news cycles, headlines, or Twitter notifications is going to give you a true representation of the stress, adrenaline, training, and muscle memory that comes into play when a police officer makes a decision. Now, I'm not going to tell you that Ready or Not gives you a perfect representation of those feelings, but what I will tell you is how wide my eyes opened when I made the decision to shoot a civilian just because they flinched in such a way that I thought they were reaching for their waistband when they had their hands up only a split second before. This was an incredibly eye-opening experience for me, because at that moment I knew that I was playing a video game, and that death would simply mean restarting the level. But it also made me realize that for a lot of people, that wouldn't be the case. Not to mention, I was only under a fraction of the stress and adrenaline that someone who really had to make that call would have been under. It's a feeling and an emotion that is truly indescribable until you're able to experience it for yourself. Ready or Not is not trying to make you condone nor condemn the actions of law enforcement. It's trying to make you understand them. Now, there is one more aspect of Ready or Not that I haven't talked about yet that makes it so special. That is the developers. Void Interactive have gone on record to say that they are a company that, quote, has a clear commitment to deliver high quality, authentic, and impactful content that other mainstream software developers may shy away from due to cultural conventions and norms. Anyone who has played any games released in the past 5 years will tell you that the quality of content we've received from AAA developers is less than remarkable. With so many high-budget games being released as unfinished, buggy messes from out-of-touch companies, it's a breath of fresh air to see an independent studio making a well-optimized, complete experience. Ready or Not has restored my faith in the video game industry moving forward, and it's this level of quality that we as customers should begin to expect from game companies if we want to see anything change. This video is not trying to be political, and neither is Ready or Not. It is simply showing you what some of the extreme situations that law enforcement officers experience can look like. I understand that Ready or Not is a video game and that to call the game slightly dramatized is an understatement, but the dramatization of these scenarios is merely to make the game fun, and it is not the focus of this video nor the game. Rather, it's the little moments and the details that Ready or Not gets uncomfortably accurate. Uncomfortable fails to describe the content of Ready or Not, with most of the scenarios bordering on gut-wrenching. Whether it depicts a raid on a billionaire's mansion that on its surface seems fairly normal, albeit a little weird, only for its sinister nature to be revealed the deeper you go, or a talent center that's taking advantage of the poor neighborhood it's surrounded by, whose ringleader would rather take his own life than have to face time for the atrocities he has committed. Some might consider the content in Ready or Not to be exploitative, including scenarios like this purely for shock value. But I'd have to disagree. Depicting a shocking reality is not the same as exploiting shock value. These scenarios are not included at the expense of the victims, they're included to show the horrors that law enforcement officers face and the experiences they have to live with. It is the revelation and depiction of these experiences that change the way that we view law enforcement. Showing realities that are seldom seen is the epitome of impactful art, and it is precisely why Ready or Not is important. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below. I'd really love to know what you guys thought. If you disagree with me, please let me know. I would love to have a conversation about it. I plan on releasing videos every Sunday, so go ahead and hit that bell icon if you did subscribe. That'll give you notifications on when I release, but every Sunday is when you can expect something to come out. If you want to stay up to date with just me and all the stuff that I'm doing, then you can follow all my social media. That'll be down in the description, along with a link to join my Discord server. We can just hang out, talk about whatever we want. So once again, thank you just so much for watching this video. It means a lot that somebody would listen to me ramble about a game that I enjoy. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys in a later video. Peace.